Good morning. It's Friday, April 17th. We've got a busy week. Here, I'm start off this morning, spending time with legislative counsel Bradley Shulman, with the intentions of working on the Senate's language of H739, an act relating to prohibiting the use and sale of the herbicide paraquat. We had a thoughtful discussion around the table amongst us senators yesterday to bring clarity to where we wanted to be on this bill. I think we're there, and we'd like to express that to Attorney Shulman and see if we can't get this to a place where we could vote it out. Not today, but certainly early next week. So, Attorney, that's just much as an introduction as I can give you as far as where we're at.
Great.
Welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Bradley Shulman, Office of Legislative Counsel. And well, I think perhaps I hear from you folks first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like our thoughts here. So we are looking to have a condensed version of what the House has done. We want to strike out any of their findings, any of their language, and then in place of, we have agreed as a committee that we would concur with a ban on paraquat after 12/31/2030 at 11:59. But that we would concur with that, but we would like to put in that we want some exceptions. We and committee as I go, and if I say anything in the wrong way, that isn't where it's at, and where you guys are all comfortable, please let me know. I believe that we have come to where that we want to include apple growers, fruit growers. Is that what we settled on?
Fruit berry,
Fruit
Yeah.
bearers,
berry,
fruit berries.
just so it encompasses both fruit berry and
Blueberries
strawberry.
and berry.
Yeah, you had strawberry plants, some berry plants.
Yes.
General, I think is what we
Yeah, I can look at yesterday.
talking about. And can I ask a quick
You
clarification?
have whatever you like.
So we already have fruit producing tree orchards is in the exception. So were you thinking of an exception beyond that? Or just keeping that exception? Is that what you're saying?
Fruit bearing,
Fruit bearing tree orchards. So that is one of the.
strawberries don't grow on trees. though.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the plants, blueberry plants, strawberry plants. So whatever you would think that would be.
Okay.
We also want an application clause in there. And what we're thinking and how we'll get there will be, we'll just talk it through, but either a handheld applicator, or one of the producers had an applicator that was on a small tractor that went and it was like 14 inches above the ground.
Okay.
And so maybe a compact. I don't want to get too in the weeds as far as where it is, but I don't think you can say it's close to a hand application as possible because that's wide open.
Okay.
But there was one person that had a small tractor attachment that had an arm that came out and they sprayed it about 14 inches above the ground.
Okay.
So that is what we're trying to do, attorney, is we're trying to stay away from large field applicators, 50-foot booms, all that stuff. We just really want to make it very comfortable as far as that it is a small application process.
So however, the applicator or application must require a small footprint, no larger than 32 inches, I think is what they said, right?
I want it to be in layman's terms so somebody can look at it and they can just say, no, that this is this is what we mean. So I'm not saying that that is wrong, but let's get it to where it's simple. I'm a simple guy.
Well, you said you don't want a wide spread.
Right.
But give a limit on how wide it can go.
Well, I'm talking, okay, the boom in itself.
Right.
I don't know. The minute you put a number,
Or maybe we can say something applied by I'm gonna say tractor, but that ain't the right word. Applied by a tractor that would be normally used in an orchard setting. Is that too
Well,
big?
if you wanna go an applicator, because it might not. be
Right,
a tractor
applicator, yeah, there we go. An
Or
applicator,
apparatus, orchard apparatus.
And so is this, you're looking to prohibit the application in this way, or?
no, we want it to be in that way. We don't want it to be a large boom tractor,
Okay.
where 50-foot booms, and we just want it to be very specific. That applicator would be something that they're using now. Or would use now. Because it would be easy just to say, handheld application. But we've learned that some of them aren't handheld. And I don't want to get them into a situation to where, they're violating it just because of the word, when we can fix it here. I just don't know. I just want to be sure that we know what what that applicator is. Rob?
Yeah, I think the bottom line to that is we needed some help on the actual language of that, because the way we understand it's used is small trees or growing strawberries applicated close to the ground versus desiccating the entire field or destroying the entire field. So
Okay,
I don't know how to describe that in language that would be clear. It might be that the rules I guess they done it for soybeans.
Well, you can't do soybeans now because it would be, because we're only doing fruit trees and.
Right.
So.
Right, but I have no idea how like an orchard is run. So
Well-
we've got a big field that you're gonna plant orchards. We don't want to take
Right, usually
care
what
of
they,
it, destroy everything.
right, what they usually do is plant the saplings and then.
Right.
Go in between.
That's what we want.
We heard 32 inches by 14 high. So minimal application or minimal width application, but if that's where we could put in. Maybe we need to get ask the two bigger growers how big their application is. And then if it's 32 inches, let's do 32 inches or less.
Right, can we get hold of those growers today? Whose districts were they in?
Down by you was
Let's ask the shore.
the Shore people and.
Yeah.
And Bill,
Bill Stewart,
could ask him.
and who's the other one?
Let's just use
What's that,
Bill.
sir?
Yeah, just Bill. Just ask Bill.
Okay, guys, what else do we just want to get rid of, I think we've said it, we want it to be a Senate bill. We're not trying to be disrespectful to the House. We just want to have it to how we heard the testimony. So as little as fluff in there as that what we can have.
Yeah, I think that was it. The strike section one had the berry plants and some language regarding the application of the.
Should we put as our intent is to minimize a paraquat to its minimal use in Vermont? That's the intent of this bill is to, how, what a, valuable, but you understand, our intent is to minimize the use of paraquat, so that its effects only minimizes any effect. Or do we just leave it? Because I know our intent is we know it's bad, but we know like there's many other chemicals out there that are bad, that are used in an everyday setting other than just farming. That could end up being, I guess just leave it.
Yeah,
Just
I don't think-
right.
yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think
mind
we need
talking
to
anything through, so if somebody's got a thought, just talk it through,
Yeah.
good, it's just,
I know.
that's what we do.
Get out, throw it on the ground.
Yeah, well,
Spray care caught on it.
it's dead.
To remove the date to December of 2030,
Yes,
Yes. So
so the
the
end of the year.
December 31st, 2030.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the house. Issues.
or if, or if, obviously, I don't know what we got put in there, but you could tell us, Attorney Showman, unless, banned by the EPA before then,
Okay.
or what, any of that stuff right there.
I think in federal law would preempt
Right.
the state law anyway, but I can fiddle with language if something is not overly burdensome. I can do that.
We'll get you some help on we know the handheld applicator part, we know that.
Yeah.
We just wanna I don't wanna restrict somebody, or I don't wanna make it so that there's a loophole to where they can go bigger.
Okay.
As far as for that.
Okay. Start on language. But I think that all makes sense to me.
And I just, on page 5 of the House bill.
Okay.
Line 1 says, this is the secretary granting permission. Not be valid for more than 3 years or until. They have November 1st, we're gonna change that 2030.
Yeah.
Whichever comes first. If I'm confused, if we just say until December 2030, why do we need to reference 3 years?
I think the idea was someone could get a permit now, and it would be a 3-year permit, and expire in 2029, right? And then, or someone could get a permit a year from now. And if it were a 3-year permit, if they got it in 2027, it might expire after the ban.
Okay.
So that was the idea there for people essentially getting a permit within this 1-year period.
And then line 3 says specify the paraquat uses and crops or plants to which the permit applies. That's okay. Crops or plants. Aren't those kind of the same thing?
Well, crops is, like a field and plants are individual.
Okay.
Plant enough and you have a crop.
Does the secretary report annually now on the use of paraquat?
Just for commercial growers. So the House wanted that piece in because they wanted a bigger scope of the data, for non-commercial, for applicators, non-commercial applicators.
Why do we even need to know any of that? I mean, we're gonna ban it in 3 years. We're gonna ban it in 3 years' time. Why do we need to make it more difficult for anyone? But Rob, what do you think?
I think as we heard from Greg, they keep the records of it anyway. It'll be a little more difficult for the agency to get the data. But there's so few people using it that I don't think it's gonna be radically too much. And quite frankly, we might find out the first year that almost no one's using it. So I'd like to know, I guess, understand what the house.
You could just have people inventing.
I could. We heard it was about 20 gallons, 30 gallons, I think. But yeah, I would. I mean, it's what the house wanted, so I don't see that being a big thing to go against, at least from my point of view.
It's such a small amount, it'd be that hard to track.
Yeah, it seems like it, but we don't know how many there are. We heard from Greg, 2.5 down for 10 years.
He's a smaller broker.
Yeah, it was small.
I guess I kind of agree with the chair. I don't think we need it, but if you feel we do. And then the study,
I really don't need to do a study, do we?
Studies,
so section 3, right?
the
The,
studies to make sure that there are alternatives.
Yes.
Which the farmers could find.
Agriculture Innovation Board.
We don't need to have people do extra work.
I think they'll figure it out,
Yeah.
you know.
Every bill that comes over from there has got to study it, but
it all costs money,
Over.
unless you want to work for free.
Well, most farmers do.
so how are you guys feeling about that?
Better?
Yeah, once, as you get the application. Like we're doing.
Well,
If you be more specific what you want me to ask Bill and that.
yeah,
How does he apply his?
well, I would even say it different than that. I would say that Bill, we are trying to write a bill. And we're stuck on how to write the method that you apply. We know handheld, and you don't handheld. We don't know the apparatus that you're using.
Application.
Yeah, yeah.
Before I forget to ask, so we're taking out the study, so I'm looking at the effective date section, we're taking out the study, so I'm gonna take out that effective date for the study. All other sections of this bill shall take effect on November 1st, 2026, so people could still use Paraquat for this season. But the ban would come into place November 1st, 2026, is that?
No,
still-
30.
Well, okay, so.
They'll need to, this is when they need to start having a permit.
Okay.
Yes, so the ban without a permit goes into effect November 1st, 2026. Is that still the committee's?
There's
I just want to make sure.
60 commercial producers in the home.
60.
Yeah, that's according to the stove.
So we're asking them to get a permit. They don't have to get a permit now, correct?
Correct.
They have to be,
They gotta get licensed,
yeah, licensed to.
but they don't.
So do
need-
we want them to get a permit now?
This is what has the agency sort of overseeing how it's going to be used to make sure.
Yeah, the
that-
secretary has to authorize them.
to make sure that they are actually using it the right way. And I would be circumspect by saying this is, I would like to have the agency be able to check on how some folks are using it.
Have some oversight. So
Yeah. And I, the way we know the agency, it's not gonna be. At least it seems like it won't be coming in and being a scare tactic.
Well, the rates written, the secretary may issue a written permit. Sale use for application of Paraquat within producing tree orchards. On or before December 31st, 2030. Secretary will ensure any authorized certified applicator has received all training required by EPA and the Agency of Ag not more than 1 year prior receiving the permit. And then a written exemption will not be valid for the owner, et cetera, et cetera. We still haven't zeroed in on where.
should we ask the agency what they think?
Do you remember what the agency would say during all of that? Did the agency have any comment on that?
Can the committee clarify the question here?
Where they can apply it.
So, I don't think that the agency currently has particular restrictions on where they can apply it. Aside from the training that they do, that's required by the EPA and, that Syngenta works or whatever the name of that organization is, but that Syngenta provides.
So even if it's apple trees and strawberries or other berry,
Fruit trees, berries.
Fruit trees and berries.
would that cover what we're trying to do?
Yes, and if they already have to get a license to apply it.
Correct.
So I don't know why we want to say you also need to get a permit because the state knows who's applied for the commercial app or the application of that,
Mhm.
correct?
Mhm.
Seems kind of redundant.
I've texted Steve to see if he could jump in with us to make sure,
Okay.
see what he says.
That's a good point, though.
So I think, if I may, so I think the thought behind the bill is that paraquat is banned in the state except for getting a permit, and it envisions a more simplified permit application process where, you know, a person would just apply, get a permit to do it. But otherwise, any other uses of paraquat in the state are banned. And so that's why the permit is there in addition to the licensing requirement. That's a policy choice for sure, but I think that's the
That's
thought behind
Yeah,
it.
so we
You know.
know who could use it legally, and there are others that are licensed that have to.
Right. Yeah, and it's because the ban on paraquat goes into effect, and of course, the ban on paraquat goes into effect November 1st, 2026. But you can get a permit to do it up through whatever date in this version, 12/31/2020. So that's why the permit.
All right,
requirements are-
and at most it might be if we had 60, that's 60 apple farmers that are commercial. Well, plus the hobbyists, they may be 100 plus people that fight at max. We really need that stagger. Yeah, that makes sense. We banned it. We should know who is gonna apply it because it is banned.
and that's not.
Or you don't require any permit, just ban it as of the 23rd. Which leaves everything in place that's in place now, doesn't change any of that. I mean, that's the other option. I'm not necessarily supporting that. I'm just saying you could just ban it as of December 31st, 2030.
Or you could say no more new users.
From what I gathered from everything we talked, we don't want to see it being used on crops like soybeans, potatoes, this and that. Right up to 2030. So. Which I'm full support of because of the possible risk of the volatility and the spread through the year.
Drift, yeah.
We've heard from testimony that it is not widely used. And we want to make sure that it doesn't get widely used, and we don't give it that narrow window that we've all decided on. So.
Okay, so let's just rephrase what we're stuck on.
First of all, where they could put it, I think we agree it's apple orchards and berry plants. The method by which they apply it. And I don't know how to articulate that. I know what I want to see kind of thing, but I know
Right.
bad. But you can't put that in the statute. You know, check with the senator, he'll let you know whether.
Yeah.
You know, when he sees it, right?
Yeah, we heard that yesterday.
Maybe application of paraquat needs to be as minimal as possible. As far as
It's still vague, minimal and who's good.
well, that's what I'm saying. If we find the applicator not over 36 inches, then we know we're not. We heard,
Yeah, I just don't
Yeah,
want to
your
get
way
into
is
that
32
grade.
or
Down with tape measure.
yeah, well, or if somebody sees that it's as wide as this table, you know that's over. You know that's over 36 inches.
I think those are the two. I mean, we changed the date, ditch the study, ditch the findings.
Thank you.
Any new,
They still gotta pass that test.
true.
And I don't know how many more, 3 years, how many more new apple orchards this had up.
Apparently the test is easy.
What's that?
Apparently the test is not easy.
No.
No. Okay, so we are waiting on some more information, conversation with Steve. We're waiting for the applicating, answer to go forward. Are there any more thoughts?
That's it.
Are there any more thoughts for Bradley? Before we cut it loose? What?
I left the cutting loose.
Oh, okay. Are we good?
I believe so. Just
Attorney Showman, you have anything for us?
I've got enough information. I'll keep an eye out, for further instruction, but I got enough information to get started.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I do have one question. Do we want to do this as a strike all and replace it'll be in the calendar, or do we want to do it as?
Strike all, right?
It's just,
What's better of that? Strike all?
It'll probably look better as a strike
yeah,
all.
it's so much easier to.
Yeah,
right.
When we're.
Well, and I think it goes like this. Brian has heard me say it. I know, Pro Tem has heard me say it a dozen times. Said it to him yesterday. The reason why I like strike calls, because when it leaves hearing, it is a Senate bill. And I think a strike call gets us to a Senate bill, with our language in there. So that's why I like strike calls. Great.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very much. Committee, let's talk about, again, make sure that we're not missing anyone as far as falling through the cracks, because we are getting close. We are, miscellaneous, we're just talking about our, signature piece of legislation. Municipal zoning, we're still waiting on some language that the House worked on yesterday. And that's another thing we'll have Attorney Collier about, because I do have a message into him. But that is the only thing holding us back to move forward on as far as on that. Municipal exemption is language as far as restricting, I don't know if we're gonna end up with pigs or farm animals or whatever that could be a nuisance within downtown village centers. So we're waiting on that language. I am prepared to move ahead on that by ourselves, but if they've done some work on it, then obviously we can use that. So that's one.
Yeah.
We've decided, I believe, we've decided that the language as far as to exempt foresters for some tax, that is we've got that bill. We're gonna just insert it as far as a miscellaneous bill. We're gonna work on the current use issues, with, the next meeting at 10 o'clock, both for, equine and then structures that were built, that were in the process of being built, that maybe didn't get filed correctly or on time. We have the other one, just in my brain,
Equine.
no, that was for, is that the fourth, what's
Forestry,
forestry, yeah, forestry tax exemption. And then we have another one, working on some language,
The buildings.
that was part of that,
yes.
come on. Ingles. A little slow today, I don't know why I am, but I am.
It's Friday.
Well, maybe not. Oh, yeah, no, it is. Then we're waiting for the agreements to be struck between the unit pricing.
Yeah.
And if,
oh, that's right.
if we can,
Yes,
see
yes.
that. Now we got, Linda's gonna schedule it back in on Wednesday. And, to see if we can get an agreement struck with them, and move forward. Anything else that we're missing? Anything else the committee wants to take up? As far as anything, we're getting close.
think so.
Getting in late innings here, so
Yeah.
pretty good.
No one's knocking on your doors?
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, well, next folks coming at 10 o'clock, if you guys would like.